is Hanami time. Well, as close to Hanami as I think I'm going to get. I was supposed to get an invite for an event next week. I'm not sure if it'll be happening or not, but we'll see. Yes, Hanami season is upon us, and the flowers are all blooming. They look absolutely gorgeous, and everybody is obsessed with cherry blossoms in Japan. They are quite lovely. It looks like they are starting to set up for the Hanami Festival in our town. And I'm hoping I'll be able to attend some of the events. I think it starts tomorrow. I'm thinking. You remember that scene in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory where Willy Wonka tells Charlie that the elevator can go in sideways and upways and downways and all kinds of crazy ways? Basically, I think that's what this sign says. I think the sign says that the road can go in any direction. And this system here is how they keep the town from flooding. Basically, all the water runs into this little channel, and the whole city is lined with them. So the past couple weeks, it's been raining a lot, and so this has been pretty full. This is actually the lowest that I've seen it. Like I said, if they own land, they be farming or gardening. Yeah, farms and gardens. Everywhere. So, I just ran into a bunch of kids, and I heard them talking about Totoro. So I walked up to them and I said, "Totoro suki desu." So, yes, I like Totoro. And we sang the Totoro theme song, and they were calling me sensei. And it kind of threw me off because these kids are not my students. I don't teach them. I don't teach in this town. I teach 30 minutes away. And yet, here they are, calling me sensei. And it really goes to show you that in Japan, no matter where you go, no matter what you do, you are that foreign face, you are that sensei, and your daily life is always going to be watched by those around you and held to the standard of being a sensei, of being a teacher, which is like having this standard of you are above the moral, you are always right, you are always doing the right thing at the right time, and you're always putting your best foot forward no matter what. And sometimes that can be pretty tiring, especially considering the only time you ever get to be yourself is usually when you're either away from home or just in your house, like away from home, meaning like, oh, I'm in Tokyo, which is on the other side of the country. But people will watch you, people will monitor you, and people will tell people about what you're up to. So, like, I'm walking around now, and I think nobody's watching me, but chances are there's somebody watching me, and they're going to tell somebody else about me talking to my camera like a crazy person. Look at what else is blooming. Quite lovely. Did I mention gardens and farms? 'Cause gardens and farms. I'm not sure what these are, but they are quite lovely. And for those of you that can read Japanese, here is some lovely information about the flowers that are there. Honestly, besides like the date and a few of the kanji, I can't really read much of what this is. And I can recognize what the kanji are, but actually putting them into practice, that needs a little bit more work. Yeah. So, like I was saying, I completed my first week. The way they have my schedule divided up is kind of weird. I technically have 6 schools, but I only see 3 of them for the first 7 months, and then the rest of the year I'm at another 3 schools. My first 3 schools are elementary schools, and I don't know. The schools themselves seem pretty nice. I swear, I think at every one of my schools, I think that the principal is some sort of wizard, because he just randomly appears, has this like sagely smile and this know-it-all look in his eyes, and he gives off like this magical aura. So I honestly think that at all 3 of my elementary schools right now, my principals are wizards. As for how my week went, it was really stressful. I was very confused, especially the first few days, and it's not really my school's fault. It was more of my company's fault for not actually, I don't know, I would say they didn't really prepare me to be in that kind of situation. I didn't have a schedule for the first few days, so I didn't know what time I had to be there. I didn't know how many classes I had. I didn't know what classes I had. I didn't know when I could go home. I spent the first couple days staying longer than I needed to because I didn't know what time to go home. So it was really stressful. I'm supposed to work as an ALT, which is an assistant language teacher. But at most of my schools and most of the time, I am the English teacher. I run the curriculum, and I had not prepared a curriculum. I've been in the country for 2 weeks. I just got the textbooks a week ago. Of course I didn't have a curriculum ready, you know? And the lessons that my company provides, I'm just going to say I really don't like them very much. And the textbook, it needs some work. But that aside, my kids are wonderful. They're great. They're really funny. They're a ton of fun to play with. My teachers are really kind. They're very helpful. They always answer my questions. I always answer their questions. I try to help them, and they help me. And that's kind of all you can really ask for, right? I'll do another video actually going into like the details of how like Japanese school actually works, like what a typical day is, or things you probably wouldn't expect, and that sort of thing. But yeah, I've been kind of enjoying my afternoon stroll, and it's kind of nice to have a breather. The first few days, I couldn't sleep because I was really stressed out about what exactly I was supposed to be doing. And then Thursday night, which was last night, I just crashed. Literally, I came home, I ate dinner. At 6 p.m., I was in bed, and I slept until 6 a.m. when my alarm went off. And to be perfectly honest, I probably could have slept for a few more hours. I mean, today wasn't as hectic. I've been getting the swing in things. I've gotten used to my schedule. I've gotten used to a lot of my coworkers. Some of my coworkers actually teach at some of the schools that I teach at, so they'll teach at one school and another. Ah, konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. Always say hello. Aisatsu. I will do a video about aisatsu. It is ingrained in Japanese culture, and if you want to make friends, that's the way to do it. Lovely. I honestly have no idea where I am right now. But that's okay. Because seriously, there are much worse places to be lost. The sun is going down, and I think I'm heading towards the direction of town. Well, like the main town, downtown kind of area. But I'm not 100% sure. You see this giant green pipe thingy here? I think that's how they get water around the city. I'm pretty sure, because to my left you can't really see through all these trees and bushes. But there's like some sort of water plant, I think. And this is something that kind of surprised me. You see this? It measures the depth of the water. But do you notice something? Yeah, it's written in feet. Yeah, feet. So it tells you, oh, 5 feet, 6 feet. That's how deep the water is when the water level's high. Japan uses the metric system. Yeah, the metric system. So why does that have feet on it? And that's not the only time I've seen that. I've seen that in other places. It's really odd. Speaking of which, I have been making adjustments to the metric system quite easily. I get confused a little bit sometimes when I'm talking to somebody, especially like another American, and they start switching between the metric system and the American imperialistic system, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. But for the most part, I'm doing pretty okay. You know, everybody that comes to this country has a moment where they just stop and they say to themselves, huh, wow, I'm in Japan. And I think I've been here for a few weeks, and this is the first time, you know, I think I'm gonna say, wow, I'm in Japan. I mean, look, cherry blossoms, river, beautiful bridge, great walking path, beautiful sky. It's just like almost picture perfect. Get it? Picture perfect? Okay. I'm sorry. A lot of people say, oh, the moment that they realize they're in Japan is the moment they get off the plane, or the moment they get to Tokyo, or the moment they ride the bullet train. And I don't know, I hadn't really had that feeling, but I kind of think I'm feeling it now, which is pretty nice. I know where I am. You know, everywhere you go, you wind up finding like a place that's your North Star. And I've just seen the North Star of my town, which is what I use to find my way around. It's really nice. My city is like full of all these bike trails and walking trails, and each direction will tell you what is how far away, and it's really nice that parts of these signs have the furigana, these little kanam over top of the kanji, so that, like, I know that this kanji says "o," but I didn't know that this kanji said "hashi," so it helps me figure out and read what the signs are saying to me. It makes it a lot easier. Okay, we are officially unlost. Okay, so this is a Japanese water fountain. And I have no clue how to operate it. I mean, I understand that part just fine, but how does this part work? How does the water come out of it? I know water must come out of it. It looks like a tap and there's rust here, but... Mystery. Once again, the women of Japan, you be knocking it out of the park. I had another lovely lady come up to me while I was walking, and I was filming that water fountain, and she was telling me that the building I was outside of was the library for our town, that they were closed today for a holiday, but they'll open up again tomorrow at 8 a.m. for some sort of celebration. I'm assuming it's a Hanami celebration, and that it'll be very beautiful and that I should check it out. Of course, most of this conversation was a very mix of terrible Japanese and terrible English, but we were able to communicate, which is all that really which is all that really matters in the end, right? But yeah, score. Apparently she has a business in the same town where I work, so we both have a long commute, she says. Okay, so I just saved an old lady. Like, no exaggeration, I saved an old lady. I was walking down the street. I looked over, I saw her on the ground. I asked her, "Daijoubu desu ka?" And she said, "Daijoubu janai," which means, "No, I'm not okay." So I rush over and I help get her